Ars Grammatica, capitulum trigintaquinque. Ex donati arte grammatica minore. So Ars Grammatica is the grammatical art, and this is from Donatus's smaller grammatical art. So this is a late antique Latin grammar text, and it's been excerpted from there. As it says on the margin, Donatus lived in the 4th century after the birth of Christ, 4th century AD. De partibus orationis, concerning the parts of speech. Oratio is literally oration or speaking, but here it's in a technical sense, as we say, the parts of speech, partibus orationis. All right, Magister, the teacher says, partes orationis quod sunt, the parts of speech, how many are there? And then discipulus, the student says, octo, 8. Quae, what are they? The teacher says. And notice quae is the plural word for what, the neuter plural, or I guess it could also be the feminine plural, since partes is a feminine noun. And then the student, discipulus, lists them. Nomen, noun. Pronomen, pronoun. Verbum, verb. Adverbium, adverb. Participium, participle. Conjunctio, conjunction. Praepositio, preposition. Interjectio, interjection. De nomine, concerning the noun. The teacher says, nomen quid est? A noun, what is it? Pars orationis cum casu, says the student. It's a part of speech with case. Casus literally means falling, but in technical Latin, it means the case, that is the declined noun forms such as nominative, genitive, and so on. Okay, corpus aut rem propriae communiterve significans, signifying a body or a thing either properly or commonly. So that is to say, we could be talking about proper nouns, specific nouns, or about common or general nouns. Aut enim unius nomen est, et proprium dicitur, for either is the name of one thing, and it is called proprium or proper, aut multorum et appellativum, or it is a name of many things. We have to understand nomen again here, right? And it is appellative. Okay, so appellative is a term to describe, nouns that just name things, and they're general nouns, common nouns. Remember, that's coming from appello, appellare, which is one of the Latin words for naming or addressing by name, calling by name. All right, the teacher then says, genera nominem quot sunt. The kinds of nouns, how many are there? Quator, says the student. And then the teacher says, quae, what are they? Masculinum ut hic magister, masculine as this teacher, hic magister. Femininum ut haec musa, feminine as this muse. Neutrum ut hoc scamnum, neuter as this bench. Commune ut hic et haec sacerdos, common as this and this priest. So when you go to translate that, the hic is masculine, the haec is feminine. So common nouns as they are described here grammatically are nouns that can be either masculine or feminine gender. So we in English might say this priest or this priestess, but in Latin what they're noting is that the noun sacerdos actually is masculine or feminine according to the context. There are a lot of nouns like that in Latin, and we have them in English too, where we don't really distinguish the gender by the word itself. And so that's what sacerdos is, a common noun. Another example of that would be kiwis, the noun for citizen, or we might say like poeta, poet. That would depend on the gender of the poet and whether it's masculine or feminine. Okay, then the magister, the teacher says, numeri nominum quot sunt, the numbers of nouns, how many are there? And the student says duo, two. Qui, what are they? I notice the word for what here is masculine plural, qui, instead of the qui earlier, because numbers, numeri, is a masculine word, just like partes is a feminine word. Okay, so what are they? Singularis ut hic magister, singular as this teacher. Pluralis ut hic hi magistri, plural as these teachers. All right, and the teacher says, casus nominum quot sunt, the cases of nouns, how many are there? And the student says, sex, six. Qui, what are they? And notice again, casus is a masculine word, so we've got the masculine plural for the plural what, the qui here. And then the student's going to list all the cases. Nominativus, nominative. Genitivus, genitive. Dativus, dative. Accusativus, accusative. Vocativus, vocative. Ablativus, ablative. Per hos omnium generum nomina. Through these, the names of all kinds, the nouns of all kinds, pronomina, the pronouns, participia, and the participles, declinantur, are declined. So the nouns of all kinds, the pronouns, the participles are all declined through these cases, right? Okay, and the teacher says, comparationis gradus quot sunt. The grades of comparison, how many are there? Tres, three. Qui, what are they? Positivus, positive. Ut doctus, as doctus, meaning learned. Comparativus, ut doctior, comparative degree, as doctior, or more learned. Superlativus ut doctissimus, superlative degree, as doctissimus, or most learned. Okay, so here we're talking about adjectives. Now, you'll notice they didn't have a separate adjective as a part of speech. So, because they used adjectives substantively as if they were nouns, so you could say a bonus, a good man, or bona, a good woman, they really kind of thought of adjectives as just kind of common or general nouns. So here, when they jump immediately into comparison of noumena, which we consider to be just nouns, they're talking about what we would call comparison of adjectives, right? Okay, and the teacher says, quae noumena comparantur? What nouns or what kind of nouns are compared? And the student says, appellativu dum taxit qualitatem ad quantitatem significantia. The appellative nouns at any rate signifying quality or quantity. Okay, so it's talking about certain types of appellative or name nouns. Again, it's kind of tricky to call them nouns because we call these things adjectives, but ones that are, as I say, significantia, signifying quality or quantity, right? And that's what adjectives do, right? All right, and let's stop there in this video lesson. So we got all the way down through line 37, and we'll pick up in a new one next time.